like guys, I was gonna be talking about melena. So melena, like I said, is gonna this is gonna be part 2 of the GIT bleeding, and we, like where we left off, it was the part of the melena, and melena is basically any sort of the blood in the stool. So this can be pigments, and it can be oftentimes be confused with medical charcoals, or it can be confused with something very simple as blueberries. The melena can be seen there for 3 days, and it can be due to the fact that basically stool that is digested by black pigments has been stained by black blood pigments or dark blood products. There can be tarry, foul-smelling stools caused by bleeding from the esophagus, stomach, small bowel, and duodenum. It can be visible 5 to 10 milliliters of blood can pollute the stool. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is due to the fact that there can be some sort of intestinal hemorrhage. Intestinal hemorrhage is due to the fact that there can be any sort of problem in the arteries, and that can really go on and cause us. Yes, that can be the intestinal hemorrhage, the enteral hemorrhage we can call it, and this will be like, you know, in other words, can cause enterorrhagia, and this can be fresh blood from the duodenum to the anus, and this can be due to the fact that there can be some sort of hemorrhage. What are hemorrhoids? Hemorrhoids are basically, according to the Robbins textbook, is some sort of dilation. Dilation in which artery specifically? That can be the dilation of the dilated anal or the collateral vessels that connect with the portal and the cable systems, and they form these hemorrhoid plexuses. There can be massive hemorrhages. Massive hemorrhages is due to the fact of 2 main reasons. They can be the diverticulum, and then there can be polyps. Diverticulum can be due to the fact that there can be some sort of outpouching. You can imagine like outpouching, and this can go on, and this is going to be dependent on the layers of the structures that are involved. And this can be either true or false. They can be polyps. Polyps can be also there. Polyps can be any sort of large polyp growth. Can bleed, and they can cause blood in the stool along with fatigue, anemia, and they can also cause rectal bleeding. And larger polyps are also cause of small amount of mucus in the stool, diarrhea, constipation, and abdominal pain. There can be also occult hemorrhage, and occult hemorrhage, and that can be due to the fact that there can be just a small amount of blood that is being passed out. So chronic occult hemorrhage is some sort of small amount of blood that's being passed out. And this type of blood essentially is just going to be when we have this is the same part of this hemorrhage over here, and this is going to be due to the fact that so there can be some sort of metus diverticulum. Metus diverticulum can be divided into basically by the rules of the tool. Rules of the tool is that it can be 2 centimeters from the ileocecal valve. It can also be 2 centimeters in the I believe the size, and it can, I believe, 2 inches in size and 2 centimeters from the ileocecal valve. And this is the main thing about metus diverticulum. It can cause bleeding due to the fact that there's going to be some sort of problem with the mucosa of the gastric or the pancreatic mucosa. And there can be also tumors, and tumors, like I said, the only symptom or the mainly only symptom of tumors is bleeding. Guys, like I said, how we do this? We can do biochemical tests of the stool, and we can really just see if the blood, we can see the amount of blood cells that are coming into the stool, and I believe that can be really done, and these tests are usually done on an empty stomach to see the maximum amount of blood and what is the situation over there. We can have pathogenesis. Pathogenesis is basically the acute massive bleeding. Acute massive bleeding is very, very easy. You're basically increasing your heart rate, but at the same time, you're also losing blood. So when you lose the blood, you're losing your cardiac output over here, and you're also going to be losing the blood pressure. And when you're losing all of this, getting hypovolemic shock, are you going to have increased amount of urination or decrease? Obviously, you're going to be decrease amount of urination. Why is that? Because you're decreasing diuresis, you're decreasing the amount of urine that you're secreting, and therefore you're going to be decreased amount of glomerular filtration. Abdominal pain can also be there. Why is your abdominal pain? Because of sort of infraction to the abdominal arteries, and that can also develop. Occult chronic bleeding, like I said, the main thing is anemia. Anemia with chronic bleeding. It can be hyperchromic microcytic anemia. Why? Because you're losing iron. You lost the blood, thus you're losing. Thus you lose iron, and therefore it can lead to the chronic occult bleeding. And it is a consequence of chronic occult bleeding. What is the main symptom over here? The main symptom is going to be fatigue, and there can be some sort of excretion that can lead to unconsciousness. Guys, I want to give a quick review of everything I just said. A quick review can just be basically be defined by the definition. What is the definition of GIT bleeding? Any bleeding that occurs in the gastrointestinal tract. Guys, what is the causes? The causes can be easily known for this mnemonic: GIT bleeding. So G, gastric ulcers; I can be the ileus; T can be the mildly tear; the B can be the I'm not sure about B. I think it's bloody diarrhea. L can be portal hypertension. E can be esophagitis. E can also be esophageal varices. They can be D, which is duodenal ulcer. They can be intestinal vasculitis, intestinal carcinoma, and G can be also ulcer. And we can have different types of bleeding. We can have acute massive bleeding or chronic occult bleeding. Like I said, acute massive bleeding means you're losing blood, so you develop what? Hypovolemic shock, and that is going to be 20% of the blood over a few amount of hours. Chronic occult bleeding can be due to the fact you're also losing a lot of blood. Therefore, you're losing a lot of iron, and when you lose a lot of iron, what do you develop? Anemia, which can be also a sign of colorectal carcinoma. And also, I guess there can be symptoms which we cannot correct. Hematemesis has to be differentiated from epitaxis and hemoptysis, and we have and has to be non-digested or digested blood. We can have hemorrhage, which can be fresh blood in the stool from the duodenum all the way to the anus, and it can be massive or occult. And we have melena. Melena is usually foul smelling. It can be dark digested blood pigments. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try my best to reply to them. And sources, like I said, I've already mentioned them. Most important sources probably Scripta, which I've used. I'll put the link in the description if I'm allowed to do that. Wikipedia, Pathoma, and other resources were very, very useful. So thank you guys for watching this. Please do like, subscribe, and share. And